What a very interesting time. What a very interesting time to release the manifesto. You know, the document from the Nashville lunatic from over 2 years ago. Remember when local police were covering it up? Remember when they had like an activist judge who was blocking its release? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I remember that. And it sure seems like the federal government is using Charlie Kirk's assassination as cover to now release this when nobody's watching. We now have the Manifesto. By the way, if you're out there watching later, many of you, over 1,000 of you, have tried coffee brand coffee on Amazon this week alone already. This is my coffee company. We have our Tiger's Blood and Blackberry Cream, which I highly, highly recommend. These are our limited time summer flavors. We have ground, we have whole bean. We have all sorts of Blackberry Cream is ridiculously good. That's probably my favorite summer blend. Blueberry cobbler, strawberries and cream. We have all of our fall flavors have snuck in early. All of it has free next day shipping. So if you bought from Coffee Brand Coffee's website, this is already like $8 or $9 cheaper because you don't have to pay for shipping. Just go over to cbcamazon.com, Charlie Bravo Charlie Amazon.com to get yours today. Audrey Hale's manifesto was quietly released 2 years after the Covenant incident, and it hasn't gotten any coverage. In it, she constantly talks about hating life and being born wrong. She even says, "My only true motivation is taking out a bunch of people with me." It says, "Whatever makes the world full of ish is clones of full of people that are meaningless. I don't care if I pass away tomorrow. F my existence, everyone. No, anyone. I don't care if other people go, as I am the one doing it because I'm going to pass away too." Isn't it interesting that they didn't release this till right now? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that they didn't release this till right now? Why does my brain not work right? 'Cause was I born? 'Cause was I born? Oh, 'cause I was born wrong. Nothing on earth can save me. Never-ending pain. Religion won't save. By the way, these drawings are very bad. Like from an artistic standpoint. From an artistic standpoint, these might be the worst drawings I've ever seen. I can't draw to save my life, but even I can draw a few things. Love will find me once my body loses me. I will be whole again. We will be in a perfect world, and our hearts will truly be together again. Our hearts will find each other no longer in pain. Isn't it weird? Why do you think that a federal judge in Texas wanted this banned? Does anybody have a reason that they can think of? Why would they want to block this release? And why would they use Charlie Kirk's assassination to essentially cover up its release? Because that's what they did. Does anybody disagree with me? I am very confident that they used Charlie Kirk as a cover to release this. Like, everyone's talking about that, so let's put out. But what is even in here? What is even in here that is unexpected? Not what in here is something that you would not have expected. What in here is even worth covering up? Nothing. Nothing so far. You know, Sydney is gone, but, and then they redacted, is still alive. It should be the other way around. Everything hurts. Now, I don't know who Sydney is, and I also don't know why that was redacted. They also redacted this, which we don't know what that was. A terrible feeling to know that I am nothing of the gender I was born. I am the most unhappy boy alive. She was a biological woman, by the way. The thing is with these images, it proves that kind of the trans ideology is at fault for what she did. She indicates that everything is pointless because she's a white girl, a girl without a wang, and writes how she is looked down on for white privilege. The left, and especially people in Audrey's life who affirm these delusions, are also responsible for what she did. My existence is meaningless. My soul is worth nothing but my body, blah, blah, blah. Major blow for girls, boys that I want. I have no junk. What? Like, I heard bad enough and long enough that I need to pass away. But what did they redact here? What did they redact? Is my question. What did they redact here is my question. She had envy of male body parts. I'm wondering, you know, what did they take out there? Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Like, isn't it curious? I hate life. The internet is dangerous. People scam all for money. Money is filthy. Independence is impossible. My autism. People pretend like they like me, then block, delete, and erase me. But scamming people will copy and chase me like I do just about everything. I hurt just about in every way possible of a mental condition from anything possible. No love, no brown girls. You might think, wow, who would have thought after affirming someone's prescription grade identity crisis that would lead them to becoming some sort of murderous maniac? I mean, I think that's a fair question. This person had a mental disorder, white nothingness, white privilege are embarrassment to selves and me and no one else. So this is exactly what we thought it would be. Her manifesto, okay, is basically schizo, but also, I would say, full of leftist ideology. Just full of far left ideology. That's basically all I can say. That's why they hid this. They're mostly unhinged. Yeah. They're, of course, mostly unhinged. That I would agree with. I mean, we can see why they never release this. By the way, these writings were on 2/7/2023. When was the Nashville that was in March. She wrote this a month before carrying out her attacks. She wrote this a month before carrying out the attacks. Apparently, no one saw it. I'm guessing somebody saw it. Maybe her therapist, maybe her parents. People saw this a month before her carrying out her attacks. darkness, nature, infinity. Now, this appears to be a schedule and dates of when she would be carrying stuff out. Why did they block that out? I don't know. It looks like they're people's names. Here's 1/16/23, 3 months before, or 2 months before carrying out her attack. I'm so sorry, blank. I didn't mean to plan my attack on the 17th. I'm going to be a terrible ish for leaving you. How bad my heart hurts. Tomorrow's my last day on Earth. This was the girl, I think, that she was in love with or whatever, that was on remember that girl they found that she was dating? I'm going to take people out tomorrow. Someday. Please don't be mad. I'm going to do something bad tomorrow, parentheses, sometime. I'm going to do something bad. I just have to, P.S. I think God will enter me into heaven. I think God will enter me in heaven. If I don't get there, I'll be waiting for you. All of our pain will leave us. P.S.S. The hairstyle, short and natural, was so similar from the one in middle school. Like, this person is just schizoid. You know, all cranky, good-for-nothing, mentally ill men, should die. Whoops. So she hated men. She hated men and whiteness, and that is why she carried out her attack. Isn't that weird? I think that's weird. So she hated men and whiteness. And that's why she did what she did. That's why she did what she did. Isn't that funny? I think it's pretty curious that the judge covered this up. Now we know. Now we know why it was wildly anti-male and anti-white. I'm not going to read through all of this. They used Charlie Kirk's attack as cover to release what we already knew was going to be in here. Who knows what we could have done as a society? Who knows what we could have done as a society if we had seen this a year ago or 2 years ago? Isn't that interesting? And our government or law enforcement decided, well, now is a great time to let this slip out. Now, maybe they said, maybe somebody released it and said, hey, look at, maybe it's because what happened to Charlie Kirk. They're like, hey, we need to put this out there. This was a 27-year-old adult who wrote this, by the way. My guess, maybe they're like, well, look, we have a problem. Here's another example. But not a single mainstream media source covered it. I wonder why.